And so this inn is seeing a fair amount of traffic, which is excellent.
It's called the Canary Song.
The Canary Song. I love that.
Yeah.
This tavern is just rough and tumble. I mean, there's splinters in the wood.
But you can see mining equipment are like tchotchkes around the walls and stuff.
Oh.
It's like a destitute Applebee's.
Yeah, and canaries. Taxidermied canaries
Oh, everywhere.
are everywhere.
Yeah. And one of them is sticking out and has like from behind it, you would assume somebody like manipulates the mouth and like sings songs during dinner service.
Canary in the coal mine.
You are coming to this realization now?
Right now.
Okay.
Canary in the coal mine.
Yep.
That's a really great touch.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Thank you. Yeah.
How you doing? I mean, we're both wearing pink today. This
Yes,
is
we are.
It's a dusty pink as well.
It's a muted what is
Dusty
it called?
rose.
What are the Easter colors called?
Pastels?
Yes. The muted pastel. If you could take pink and make it earthier.
Because our pallor is really a muted pastel as well. Just,
Yes.
It's all really dull, really muted kind of palette here.
Your pink reminds me of a mineral that they gave us in earth science class.
Oh. Rose quartz?
Quartz, probably. But that wasn't the one that we would...
you
we
remember-
licked a few rocks.
I was just going to say, do you remember the lick test? And what are you testing for when you lick rocks in earth science? Because I remember we had to lick sulfur and it tasted salty, but
hardness.
Hardness?
Hardness test.
I thought that was when you scratch it on
If it cuts
a
your
piece
tongue,
of slate.
If it cuts your tongue, hard. Doesn't
Okay.
cut your tongue, soft, like talc.
I think it was something different.
It was a saltiness test.
Saltiness, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That was possibly more like it.
I wonder if, anyone who's tuning in happens to be an earth scientist, a geologist, in
Earth
fact.
scientist.
Let us know why you lick rocks.
In speaking about rocks
Good
and the
segue.
licking of such, we are rejoining Pim and Dirk after a very eventful day prior.
Yeah, so we arrived at White River, which is a town north of Windhaven.
Yep.
And it is a sheep town, a flocking town. What am I trying to say?
A flocking town.
A town in which they breed and raise sheep.
Yep.
But it is more of a bustling town than we give it credit for. We make our way to the tavern because we need to sojourn a little bit. We sojourn successfully. We grab a couple Pim and Wynn grab a couple pints of ale. Dirk decides to do what in order to sojourn?
Dirk wanted to just get out with some of the animals
Yeah.
and feel like his spirit was a little bit low.
Yeah.
He watched over a couple of flocks with some shepherds. Maybe the shepherds didn't even ask him for his help, but he gave it anyway, was able to fend off a wolf from attacking a flock of sheep.
Yeah.
Just had a great day.
You had a great day. The next day, we decide to make a game plan. We go back to the tavern, the name of which is eluding me. But we go back to that tavern.
It was the Undertow.
The Undertow Inn.
Or just Undertow.
Just Undertow?
Maybe it was one of those pretentious places that doesn't have a the in front of the name.
Kind of like Yeah Yeah Yeahs is not the Yeah Yeah Yeahs?
Yes.
It's just Yeah Yeah Yeahs?
Yes,
So it's just Undertow
Just
Inn?
Undertow.
Just Undertow Inn. Okay, great. So they go to it's difficult.
Yeah, it is.
They go
Tell yes about it.
They go to Undertow Inn. And as they are making their plans, who but Tessa,
Dirk's sister,
Overvacher, appears and has been tracking them for days.
Not hard to find, turns out.
Not hard to find because we are wanted heads in Windhaven
Oops.
because we blew up a bunch of docks.
Yeah, but she caught up with us, revealed to the group that unfortunately the iron blight in Borwood has worsened.
Yeah.
It has spread deeper into the deep wilds, and there are more pockets of the deep wilds that are corrupted by this iron blight.
And she came herself because she's not convinced we're going fast enough.
Sure.
She's not convinced we even know that the menace has advanced.
We've been going pretty fast.
We've been doing as fast as we can, but clearly it's not fast enough for Tessa.
Nope.
But it's fortuitous because we need as much help as we can get going north.
Yep.
The plan that we share with Tessa is that we're going to go north and attempt to find the headquarters of this sect.
Yep.
We're going to find who's responsible for meddling with the Starforged Black Iron that is inevitably releasing the blight onto the Ironlands.
Yeah.
But hearkening back to a couple episodes ago, Arthelius Torn had reason to believe that, you know, they are increasing their production of mining of this black iron, and that they're up to something very nefarious and very dangerous.
So we rejoin Pym, Dirk, Tessa, Wynn, the four of them, as they ventured north and had just arrived in a small mining town in the Veiled Mountains.
Correct.
They messed up their furs with a little bit of extra soot, grabbed a few pickaxes, and started heading directly toward the quarry to get some answers as to where they can track this cult down.
And here we are. The four of them. We have our horses with us. Do we take our horse? We have to take our horses with us to come into town.
I feel like that would look a bit, I don't know, are we trying to be inconspicuous?
What do we do with our horses, though?
Is it conspicuous or inconspicuous?
Inconspicuous.
We leave them tied up somewhere.
But what about...
Have you ever owned a horse before? Ridden a horse before?
Yes, but we could be days. Don't you think?
Yep.
Right. So let's take them with us, and hopefully they have a stable to board them in.
Great.
So,
yeah.
So inhumane.
No, of course we're finding a stable.
Oh, great.
I thought you meant that we're just going into the mines with our horses.
No. Let's find a stable.
We are getting clearer
close by
on the plan. Good.
So I'm going to roll yes, no, if we can see stables nearby. I mean, it's a town.
Yeah.
There's got to be stables.
Yes.
All right. I'm not even going to roll on that.
Absolutely.
They walk. They are covered in soot at this point. I mean, this has been a week-long journey up to this place, so we smell. We look kind of gross.
Yep.
We look like we could blend in with a mining community.
Sure.
So we walk in, and there is no, as we established before, there's no clear fortified wall around this mining town. It's really all just kind of open.
And this town is in remote areas. Yeah. We're in a mountain range, essentially. It was some doing to get up to it. Kind of no reason to have excess fortifications because who the heck is coming up here?
Who's coming up? And the biggest, I guess, marker of the place is that there is a massive hole, just a massive mining hole that is acres long, with a bunch of scaffolding going down like a spiral all the way down as they mine, and create this kind of chasm in the earth.
Yeah.
So I would say that, maybe a little bit farther to the right, is, beyond the hole that is directly in front of us is more the residential sect of the town.
Yeah. You've got a general store. You've got living quarters for most of the miners and workers themselves. A very, very small, the smallest inn you've ever seen.
Sure.
Because who would visit?
Yeah.
But a tavern inside for the workers to enjoy themselves after a long day's work. And adjacent to that inn is a couple of stalls where we can leave our horses.
Yes. Also, visible are some, roughly constructed brick houses with thatched roofs, because it's cold up here. It's a lot colder. As you can see, there's soot staining the snow as we walk, and we lead our horses to the stables.
Having left the horses, a small flurry of snow begins to fall, and they, Pym, Dirk, Wynn, and Tessa tie their horses off. And I would say at this point, head toward the mine. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Do you all have everything with you? Did you clear your saddlebags?
Yeah. What?
The saddlebags on the horses. Did you take things out of it that you need?
I'll be right back. Dirk runs back, grabs the stuff he needs, returns.
Great. So I guess we're just going to look for work and...
Yeah, what am I going to do with my big spear?
Oh, right. You have a big spear, don't you?
I got a really big weapon.
Great. Well,
I'll leave it tied to the horse for now.
Okay.
And Dirk grabs some excess like fabric he found and he wraps it around the end, the pointed iron-tipped spear.
Does it not collapse? Does it not...
Does my spear collapse?
Yeah, it, condense onto itself for portability.
Certainly doesn't.
Great.
It's a long wooden quarterstaff that is sharp at one end.
And you don't have any other weapons on you?
I just got this utility knife.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's see if I can... I can see if I can... That would be smart, to disguise it somehow. Oh, I've got an idea.
What's your idea?
Dirk wraps linen that he has around either side of his long spear.
Uh-huh.
He then, nearby in the stalls of horses, there are nearby, like, slop buckets.
Uh-huh.
Right? He sees the water trough for the horses, fills both buckets full of water, rests the spear across his back, and hangs the buckets from either side.
Smart.
He's like, miners need to drink too, right?
Absolutely.
And these buckets are disgusting.
What was Tessa's weapon? Do we remember?
Also a spear.
A spear?
I believe. Yeah, I think she was either a bow or a close quarters. I don't remember.
Well, I guess, I don't know. And what she does is she takes a kind of hay spear, like a trident kind of thing that has a short handle. She fashions...
Pitchfork.
A pitchfork.
Yep.
There we go. Thank you. And she takes... No, she takes her pickaxe. This makes more sense. She takes her pickaxe, and again, same deal. She covers the spear with linen, and then she affixes her pickaxe to the spear. So it's just a pickaxe with an extra long handle.
Tessa, you just have a super long pickaxe?
Yeah, because for example, like if something's like hard to reach, like say, I don't know, like there's like a hole that like a person can't get through, but like you want to like keep making progress through the tunnel. So like it's an extra long spear.
And at the end, the pickaxe is just a little bit like bent at the end of the shaft, and Dirk holding his... All right, let's go.
Let's say Wynn is armed with daggers.
Yep.
Would that make sense?
Absolutely.
Great.
Probably some range as well.
Sure.
Bow and arrow.
Yeah. Dart gun? Sling? Sling with stones?
Sling with stones and daggers?
Sling
I like
with stones
that.
and daggers.
Yes, because as a thief also he can use those stones to distract folks and use them for just stealth.
Great.
Create distraction. So sling with stones, 2 daggers. Easily
but Pim
concealable.
Has a bow. And
his
bow.
Yeah.
I mean, she has a cloak on because it's winter. Do we think she can successfully hide her bow beneath her cloak?
Yes. I have an idea for that.
Okay.
Dirk, to make room for the water.
Yes.
The water carrying device he's made.
Yeah.
Undoes his wolf pelt.
Uh-huh.
That has been imbued with the bind magic.
Right.
And Pim has a cloak, yes?
Yes.
But we need a little bit...
winter. They all have cloaks.
We need a little bit extra to conceal this bow.
Okay.
So he's going to take Pim's bow, conceal it under the wolf pelt.
Oh.
And tie the wolf pelt around Pim's neck, kind of making it look like her cloak is just a little bit more ornately decorated.
Oh,
and
cool.
This way, Pim gets a +1 to her edge.
Whoa!
As well.
Don't you want the +1 though, just in case you have to use it?
When
Do
am
you
I
never use edge?
No.
Great.
I try not to.
Great.
So this way, your edge is like beefed up even farther.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that way you can roll even higher.
+4 on edge.
It'll be you get a +1 when making edge related moves.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a great solution. Okay, so I feel good about this. Right.
Should we go?
Let's go find some work.
Hey, let's clock in, everybody.
Whatever.
Even though I don't really have a grasp of what what that could possibly mean.
Hey, can we go? Because I want this finished as soon as possible.
Grumpy Wynn.
I make Wynn like really grumpy.
The four of them begin walking down the slope into where the huge quarry begins and begins to turn into a mine. They get to right where the land starts to slope down. Dirk looks at him and goes, okay, what do you think we should do? Split up or stay together, the four of us?
Stay together. Absolutely stay together.
Stay together? Okay.
Yes.
Because we could perhaps cover more ground and assess more information if we like split into teams of 2 or something.
Right, but how are we going to reconvene? I mean, the place is enormous.
What time do you think their shift is done?
I have no idea.
Sunset?
Well, unless this is a 24/7 operation.
Well, I don't want to look like I'm cutting out of my shift early.
Okay.
Because then camaraderie with my colleagues at that point is just completely shot.
Great, so what's your plan?
Oh.
Do you have a plan?
No.
Great. I say the four of us go talk to someone in charge and say that we're looking for work.
Okay, I'll lead the way, offering refreshments.
Great.
Okay? They begin to walk, and walking past, because they're not in the deepest parts of the mine yet, they don't see too many miners, just some occasionally maybe ending their shift, beginning their shift. They start to head their way down. More of the scaffolding begins to appear overhead. As they spiral around the huge mine, they begin to hear footsteps above them, and the clinking of pickaxe on stone become more and more prevalent as they descend.
And they see clearly distinguishing between workers who are clad in brown. And obviously that brown uniform is completely blackened and dirty from the soot of the mine. And it seems like there are also, the people in charge are wearing very specific hats. They are just your regular kind of page boy hat with a badge, with a maybe one that badge that was once brass but is now of course tarnished. And we go up to one.
Dirk kind of walks up.
Hello, what we have here?
Long day of might care for a drink?
So hospitality sent you.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
You get first pick.
First pick? All right. And he takes his canteen and he dumps it in the water, which is extremely unsanitary, but that's how they're just going to do it. All right. I'll just go on and make the rounds. What are the rest of you doing?
Yeah, sure. They're just heading to start their day. They were coming from hospitality too. Some injuries, but they got mended up, got taped up.
Right. Well, I don't know what to do with you, so just keep going down and see if you can help out some more people.
Yeah, so about that, right? I was just curious, like, we were asked to check out, there's a member of the distribution team, the export team, that also had, like, something they needed tended to from hospitality, and we were going to go check on them. Do you think they'd be, like, close by if you could point us to the way where distribution is?
Is it your first day on the job?
And I'd like to roll compel to see if I can get this guy to talk.
Definitely.
Okay.
You're asking where distribution is?
Yeah, like where are we loading up the product?
Great.
You know what I mean?
Great.
Because we're clearly from hospitality.
Yeah.
He needs water, this guy.
Yeah.
Why I'm taking 3 injured people over to him, I don't really know. But that's for the role to decide,
And
Catherine.
as Dirk said that, Pim like grabs her arm, Tessa grabs her back, and Wynn just sort of looks like, you know, maimed in general.
Yep. Okay, here we go. This is, is this charm, pacify, barter, or convince? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm convincing.
You're convincing.
I mean, it is a lie, so that would be shadow.
What's higher?
I'm just going to be so
because
convincing.
you're equally lying, but you're also
I
convincing.
have water.
Yeah.
I'm not lying about having water.
And you're very charming.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Weak hit?
That's a weak hit.
Great.
As above, So they'll do what you want and share what they know, but they ask something of you in return. Envision what they want or ask the oracle.
Did you hit your head or something? Are you
I mean, a little bit
injured
related
as well?
to why. I mean, that was a while ago, but I'm like, a little fuzzy in some parts, but, hospitality said that over time I was going to get more of my faculties back. I think it was like, they said concussion.
Right. I don't have time for this. So, obviously, the distribution center is on the north side of the mine.
Okay.
And we're on the south.
Bummer.
But
yeah,
you got to finish your rounds with the water first.
Okay. Can I send some of my hospitality crew, over that way, and then I can finish my rounds with the water? You want us to go as like a tight
And he
group?
doesn't. He's already turned his back. And he's yelling at his workers, and he just has no time. He has no time to answer your question.
Dirk swings around and nearly clonks Pim in the head with one of his buckets.
God almighty!
You heard him, guys. Let's go tend to some other folks here.
Great. So Tessa and Wynn, you go to the north side of the mine. I'll stay with Dirk. Sound good?
Dirk starts walking down the mine. Clink.
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 Sure,
clink.
That sounds great. But when are we gonna... Hold on. When are we gonna meet back up with you guys?
Let's say in 2 hours.
2 hours?
An hour? I don't know how deep this mine goes and how many people need water.
And Tessa looks at the sky and she's like, when the sun moves to I don't know, a couple of degrees east, west.
Yeah.
West.
Sun sets in the west.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So when it moves, I don't know, an hour west, come find us.
Okay.
All right?
Got it.
And
you shouldn't look directly at the sun. It's not healthy.
You make a bore sound and we'll know. I'll make a bore sound and you'll know it's us.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Sounds great.
Great. So Tessa and Wynn move north. And the interesting part is that you have to go you have to literally walk the circumference. The diameter, whatever.
So that's far. Circumference
of this entire mine, halfway, in order to get to the north side. They're on the south side, so it's going to take them a while.
Yep.
And it's funny how they both kind of hobble. They both are continuing to feign injury.
They're limping.
To get to the mine.
Okay.
And now we have to continue distributing.
Pim and Dirk eventually make their way down far enough to where they see a couple of mine carts on rails and a smaller opening into where the mine shaft itself begins. They walk in perhaps for maybe 100 feet, clinking the bucket to and fro before eventually they see finally. Woo, some refreshments. Thank you.
Would you like some water, sir?
Absolutely. Yeah. And a worker grabs their canteen, dunks it in. Whew. Takes a long swig.
Oh, God, is that water?
Appreciate
Is that water over there?
Oh! And Dirk just begins getting...
And the guy has no canteen. He just dunks his head in the bucket and slurps. And it's the soot from his face is now just blackening the surface of the water.
Yeah.
Oh God, thank you so much.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, I thought I was a goner there.
How you guys feeling? How's operations going today?
Oh, it's just more of this stuff. They just want this one thing. It's just unbelievable that there's a ton of other great ore down there. They just want this one thing.
Have you guys felt a lot of is there are you guys trying to meet a deadline? Have you felt pressure on you?
Yeah, it's insane. They just want so much of this all the time. And it's they're paying fine. It's fine. It's I'm putting food on my table. But it's just why? There's silver and there's I hit a gold ore the other day. They don't care.
Again, and then you hear whoa, is that water? And then somebody dunks their head in the other bucket on Dirk's left, and he's just getting shoved across.
And as Dirk is busy with that, Pim finally sees stacks and stacks and stacks of what she intimately knows as star-forged black iron.
Ooh.
This mine, it seems, from what this worker just told us, is exclusively dedicated to the production of mining black iron.
Yeah.
Wow.
What would Pim like to do with that info?
I don't know. We just clock it. I think she just clocks it for now.
You gotta come this way. Some of the other folks in Shaft B really need some water.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sure. And we go that way.
Do we say they eventually make their rounds? Dirk's buckets have emptied,
or
is there more info you need to glean?
Else? Like, do we need to? No, we know where the distribution place is. Mm-hmm. We just have to get there.
Yeah, I feel like if we know.
Well, we know it's north. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
We cut to a limping Tessa and Wynn.
Yeah, let's go back to them.
Who arrive at the export center. Mm-hmm. They see many carriages that are tightly concealed with like a rough-hewn, almost like a tarp, but they, whatever materials. Burlap tarps over the top of these wagons, bound tightly. The wagons themselves fully enclose, and they are under tight lock and key.
Oh.
Each one. Horse-drawn carriages in a straight line out in front of, kind of like how like an 18-wheeler backs up to like a freight entrance.
Sure.
There's like an elevated platform.
Okay.
That kind of like a train platform. You're standing where the carts would be loaded.
Yeah.
And they move forward. They load, so they get to basically this elevated platform overlooking a straight row of horse-drawn carriages.
So it's like an operation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
So this is it. And we're hidden? Hopefully we're like kind of hidden from view.
How do we think they want to play this? How do you think we should play this?
I mean, okay, so like there's a bunch of horse-drawn carts.
Yeah.
And like as far as the eye can see, there is a bunch of, I don't know, like rocks in these boxes. Mm-hmm. And then they push the box onto the buckboard thing.
Let's get into and see if this center has at least some side office that can clue us in as to where this stuff is going.
Or let's just like wait it out and see real quick. I just want to see like what happens after all of the rocks are like pushed onto the thing, and then what?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So Tessa and Wynn post up kind of like near a nearby structure out of sight of workers to where they can peek across to see what's happening.
And we see that as described, these like wooden crates basically covered with burlap tarp are pushed on to these buggies. And the next horse-drawn buggy comes, and like an assembly line, the next crate is pushed on until I want to say a train of like 9 deep of these carts are all full. And then we see black hooded figures in pairs of 2 mount the horses. Or would they mount the buggy? I think you mount the buggy at that point.
Yeah.
They mount the buggy. So there's 18 of them, I guess, if this is a 9 thing, and it takes 2 to pilot them, I guess.
Yep.
And they all, at the same time, take off.
Yeah.
Down a road.
All right. Well, there's our answer, looks like.
What, do you recognize those guys?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
And I feel like Wynn goes in and explains to Tessa a little while his business dealings.
Yeah.
And recognizes the garb of them being zealots from that cult, that sect that he was doing business with. Okay. So, like, we're thinking that caravan, that, like, train of buggies is all going to... Whatever they want to do with this. They were really demanding clients, right? So, and they wanted seemingly an endless supply of this stuff. So here's what I figure. They probably do their onload and offload around the same time each day. They're probably according to a schedule.
Right.
Same time tomorrow. we find a way to, what's the word I'm looking for?
What if they do a night? What if they do a night shipment too?
Well, we don't have that information. We know that around this time they do an offload.
Okay.
We subdue a couple of zealots. We try to get some outfits, and we make our way there. And Pim and Dirk, those crates weren't so big, but we can at least probably fit one of them inside as cargo. And that's our way in.
In the buggy?
Yeah.
Okay. So long as it's not me.
I'm sorry, do you have anything better? Does everything have to be a snide comeback?
Just devil's advocate, bro.
For what? What are you advocating? Who's the devil in this circumstance?
I just want to make sure that what we decide is fair and consensual amongst all parties.
Let's go. And Pim already, without a limp anymore, Wynn already starts walking back toward kind of the main center of town.
Okay, great. Yeah, so the plan is we're going to find some zealots and subdue them.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Great. We zoom back
to
Pim and Dirk, who are completing their rounds, providing refreshment to the workers.
Which has now become cloudy, dusty sediment for everyone after enough miners have dunked their heads inside the bucket. Dirk has come to know that these are head dunking buckets. They're not for drinking.
Yeah.
It must be, since so many have done the same exact thing.
Right.
You got to cool down somehow. It's a hot, sweaty mine.
Yeah. And as they continue down the mine, they see two black hooded figures that sort of stop them in their tracks because they've seen these figures or they've seen this clothing before. I don't like the looks of those two.
Yeah, look familiar.
Really familiar.
Okay. Do we head back before you're spotted?
Yeah. And she pulls her cloak up, hiding her red hair, which she should have been doing this whole time. She pulls her cloak up and says, let's just turn on our heels and go back the way we came. And they do. And then
Dirk bonks the empty buckets like against like the side of the mineshaft wall. Luckily, the zealots' attention is occupied with other things.
Yeah.
And they quickly, inconspicuously make their way out.
They're the two most conspicuous people.
Very conspicuous.
You have a 6'4" hulking dude. You have a 5-foot tiny redhead.
Yeah. But what does a mine worker look like? You know? They take all shapes and sizes.
It takes all types.
It takes all types.
Yeah.
To earn an honest living, just banging down rocks, you know?
Yeah.
We'll say they reconvene near where the horses were stabled.
Okay.
How'd you guys do? What'd you find out?
Wait. Yes. I love that they just reconvene.
Okay.
But they were told to meet at the north.
Okay.
The plan was
Pim and Dirk were going to meet over there after
Yeah.
they did their rounds.
Yeah.
Great. Love it.
Only because that's what we decided. And I don't want to make it too easy on us.
I forgot.
So, okay. So let's say that you said that Tessa and Wynn went to the main town. Mm-hmm. But
they didn't. Because they were all supposed to meet on the north side. And I just forgot that detail.
Let's say that they like hung low. You okay?
Yep, I just hurt my knee under the table.
Oh no. They hung low. Maybe they continued to watch and they saw that yet another shipment went out. Maybe 3 hours later, which means that a ton of this stuff is being mined. I mean, an unforeseen amount of this stuff is being mined, refined, loaded into these carts, and drawn away.
Yeah.
And they're really only headed in one direction. That's what they've found out.
Cool.
And that's been very fruitful for them.
Yeah.
So, Pim and Dirk.
And have they also seen, possibly in a similar interval of time, empty ones coming back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because it's all the same. It's like a circle kind of situation. So let's say that Dirk has kind of ditched the buckets and has now actually used the stick that is his spear as a cane, and he's also feigning injury.
Yep.
All of them are just injured.
Yeah,
Poor injured souls.
Walking wounded.
Which is their
who also
alibi.
we established they are like the nurse's office, but they also happen to be wounded themselves. They are from hospitality.
Yeah.
Yet they're also hurt.
Well, they need a job to do. I mean, they can't be just like wasted to convalesce.
No.
Absolutely not. You've got 2 legs that are working. Go and give some people some water.
Yep.
And so Pim and Dirk spot Tessa and Wynn, who are sort of semi-concealed behind a wooden structure that is leading to the opening where all of these carts are headed.
Yeah, what time of day is it about?
Let's say it's 4 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just before the sun is about to set. And they spot each other, and they decide, hi, so what'd you guys find out? Actually, let's not talk here. Let's go back to town. Sound good?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, let's go. Because I just feel like, I don't know, things are, well, what do you think?
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go back.
So they head back to town. They limp back to town. Because it just, again, like 4 injured people talking are just going to draw way too much attention.
Yeah.
Especially this ragtag bunch of people who look like they're from all different corners of the world, which they are. And so Pim limps, Dirk uses his cane, Tessa's grabbing her side, and Wynn just looks depressed.
Yep.
They head
Which is his normal way of walking.
Yes. And they head to the main area of town. There is really no like merchant area. There's really no place where people commune. This is really just
a self-sufficient town. There's no reason for like traders or anything to come. Maybe the occasional provisional like one stop, like twice a year.
Yeah.
You know, a big operation will stop by to provide the general store with, you know, supplies and food and things like that. But that's it.
It's a one industry town here, you know, so they decide to, of course, but there's an inn. There's got to be an inn. These workers need to, you know, have their libations when the sun goes down. So they had, by this point, it took them an hour to get back. It's, you know, 5 p.m. People are getting off of work. The next graveyard shift is going out to work. And so this inn is seeing a fair amount of traffic, which is excellent.
It's called the Canary Song.
The Canary Song. I love that.
Yeah.
It makes me think that like maybe this town before it was a massive mining operation like had some canaries. But they're all gone now.
Oh.
They're all gone. So they go and the same foreman, I guess, who had the badge is now working the bar. It's his part-time job.
Oh,
it's
cool.
His graveyard shift.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember you two.
Hey.
You're the injured ones with the water.
Yeah. We got thankfully cut early because we've been doing half days since we're on the mend.
Right. So you here to drink or?
Yeah.
Fine. And he goes and
Dirk grabs some money out of his satchel and sets it on the counter. And he says, "We'll take 4 waters, please."
Coming right up. He fills water. Water's not free.
Nope.
The Ironlands.
Nope.
Slams it down. And Wynn's like, water? Really? Couldn't have asked for some ale or something.
I'm sorry. I feel like we all need our wits about us.
Well,
and you know, considering you took a bump on the noggin, alcohol isn't probably the smartest idea, you know?
Dirk, keep your voice down.
There's nobody in here.
It's actually busy.
Oh,
I said
is?
it's busy.
Oh, okay. I was like, he can hear everything we're saying.
So they go into a corner. They go into a little corner booth.
Yep.
This tavern is just rough and tumble. I mean, there's splinters in the wood. Yeah. It's just like, it has a terrible upkeep. It smells terrible. It smells like alcohol.
But you can see, you know, old, disused mining equipment are like tchotchkes around the walls and stuff.
Oh.
It's like a destitute Applebee's.
Yeah. Yeah, and canaries. Taxidermied canaries.
Oh, everywhere.
Are everywhere.
Yeah. And one of them is like sticking out and has like from behind it, you would assume somebody like manipulates the mouth and like sings songs during dinner service.
Canary in the coal mine.
You are coming to this realization now?
Right now.
Okay.
Canary in the coal mine.
Yep.
That's a really great touch.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Taxidermied canaries that sing.
That sing. When it's time, when somebody orders shots.
When somebody orders shots.
Yeah, everybody they sing and everybody goes
And it's
crazy.
really just a puppet, like someone just like puts their hand in it and sings, and you know.
It's a good gimmick.
It's great.
It's whatever keeps the workers, you know, in high spirits before the shift the next day.
Absolutely.
It's a hard life.
So they sit down, and Pym says, "All right, what did you all find out?"
So it would appear to be that the export center, the stuff is only headed in one direction. They're not being distributed south, farther south into the Ironlands. It's only going one way. Also, specific intervals of the day, it would appear every 3 hours, they line the carts up, unload them with big containers. And once they're all loaded, our friendly, hooded figures pilot these, and they take off.
God almighty. I know where they're going. There can only be one place that they're going.
Yeah.
And what were these? You said that there's a covering on.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, the entire back contents of these horse-drawn carriages are caged under lock and key. When they load in the product, they open the metal gate, product goes in, they shut it, they lock it up tight.
Got it. Right. And hooded figures, you said?
Yep. Operating the carriages, taking them to and fro. Whatever they're doing with it, they don't feel like they can trust other people in the handling of this stuff. They want to do it themselves. It's got to be the Starforged Black Iron in those cases.
Well, what we found out is that this entire operation...
Thirsty miners. That's what we found out. The thirstiest men I've ever encountered in my time.
Yes, Dirk, they're thirsty.
Yeah.
Yes. But the important thing that we found out...
Thirsty for me. A whole mine of workers thirsty for Dirk.
Dirk, I feel like you're saying something that's not what we're saying.
Like, only I could provide what they were thirsting for. You know? I've never felt so wanted.
Thirsting for Dirk?
Thirsting for Dirk. Anyway.
They're mining. The only thing that they're mining here, even though it's a really fertile mountain, they're only mining Starforged Black Iron. That's it.
That's all they're looking for.
That's the only thing.
They were even discarding, like, it looked like other ores. Like, I saw, they didn't care, like, what other geodes they were looking at. Like, it seemed like they were only looking for this specific stuff.
That's it. When I was taken years ago, I was taken to a room. I really couldn't determine where I was. But when I escaped, I was in the Veiled Mountains, and I was not far from the road. If they are only going to one place, it means that they're going to the Order. It means that they're going
I've got those 4 waters there for you. 1, 2, places them all down. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kindly.
No hard stuff for us. We're on the mend.
Yeah, so what are you all talking about here? You're keeping your voices down. It's a lively tavern. Why don't you come join in the festivities?
How about you mind your own business? How's that sound? And let us just enjoy this corner booth.
She's pretty, but she's really mean.
Okay, and you're rude and off-putting. Bye. Bye.
She leaves.
Thanks, Tess.
That was a little heart we're trying to keep below whatever.
What are you guys talking about? You're whispering? Join the festivities? Go pound sand.
So, right. So, game plan then.
Yeah.
Something that's formulating in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm just going to spitball this, okay?
Go for it.
Is that... Well, actually, something came to my mind too. I don't mean to, cut you off.
Go ahead.
But, I don't know. It seems like there's room for 4, right? 2 people could be pretending to be these like hooded figures, right? Because nobody like did a check. Nobody did like a security check. Like if you're wearing the clothes, you just like get on the buggy and no questions are asked.
They seem to be highly trusting of folks in their own sect, and they don't want anything to do with the workers or miners. So it would appear, to piggyback off of what you're saying, Tessa, that if we're donning those robes, we're good.
And apparently you two, she gestures to Pim and Dirk, are the like most wanted heads in all of the Eastern Ironlands.
Thirsting for Dirk.
So we wonder if, go with me here, you climb in the back of the buggy with the goods. We throw the tarp over you. We disguise ourselves as these, I don't know, these like religious like weirdos in the like black robes. And we just follow the train. We just follow the train of carts.
I don't think we have a better plan, Pim, right?
No, it's a pretty good plan, Tessa.
And I feel like finding robes that would fit either of us, unlikely.
Yeah, that's true.
So we've got a game plan.
We got a game plan.
It would appear that... Pim, we got a game plan. It seems like you and me need to find a way to get ourselves smuggled inside one of those big boxes containing all the Starforged black iron.
Right.
At that point, we get ourselves loaded onto the cart, which gives Tessa and Wynn time enough to subdue a couple of those zealots, don their clothes, take us to the headquarters.
How do we know which cart you're in?
We will...
We could punch the top of it because it's just a tarp that's over us, right? We could simply, I don't know, give like one little poke up. And
I don't want to like tell that something is fishy with any of the product, all right? How about before we jump into the box, we mark it in some way with some symbol that we'll only know to look for, that nobody else will.
Okay. All right.
Which could be a
symbol.
Like a face. It could be a face.
Sure.
What if I did 2 dots for eyes? And then a curved, like he starts carving into the table, like a curved half circle that like it's smiling, like the face is smiling.
Like a smiley face.
Yeah, a smiling face.
Sure.
What if I carved a smiling face onto the box?
Sure. Okay.
I've only just thought of that now.
With a little peace sign within it and a flower around it.
That seems like... Okay, then it could be just like one of the miners' kids was like bored and carving something.
Great.
So a smiling face with lines. We got it. Okay. And the 4 of them clink their water mugs together. Dirk chugs his water, and they are prepared. Do we want to do this? It's every 3-hour intervals, Tessa?
When was the first shipment? When did the first train of buggies go out that you all saw?
Around midday.
Yeah, it was like midday.
Midday.
I guess like
then like
12.
Midday, then 3 o'clock.
Okay.
It would follow that, and I would like to do this under cover of night if possible. It would follow that if every 3 hours they're sending this stuff out, we could get out 9 o'clock or midnight and do this thing.
Okay. Yeah. So like which shipment do we make sure that they're in?
The midnight one? That way there's enough cloak of darkness to go?
Yeah, but like I need a little bit of sleep.
Okay.
Tessa,
take a nap.
You do realize that we're going to try to save Borwood, and we might not sleep for a couple days,
and
right?
you were pestering us for not going fast enough.
Okay, fine. Midnight. So they're going to make sure that they're in the midnight shipment.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try to find zealots.
Basically, jump in a box anytime after 9 o'clock, and that'll be the ones that go out.
Okay. And we'll look for the one with a smiling face.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 lines.
A face, like, it'll look like this. Tess, are you looking at me? It'll look like that.
Great. Thanks so much for the clarification.
I just feel like people haven't seen that symbol before or what it could mean.
Maybe not. Right. That's the plan. Do you think that a day is enough time to subdue? Do you need backup to subdue 2 zealots, or do you think that the 2 of you can handle it?
And then Wynn just sort of like from one of his daggers, like kind of spins it in the palm of his hand, Chronicles of Riddick style, and then like around his wrist and then straight down. He's like, it's plenty of time.
Okay. Here we go.
Dirk is like, cool.
Let's do it. I think we made progress on this vow, on who's responsible for the Iron Blight.
Yeah.
I think we definitely can fill that up.
Okay.
Because
Boom,
we found this mining operation and they're mining Starford's Black Iron.
Boom. I agree.
This was already done. Okay, so we sleep at the inn.
Yeah, we take like a 5-hour cat nap.
Even though it's nighttime? We could sleep the whole day.
Well, it's like 4 p.m. you said, right?
Oh,
when
right.
we walked back.
Oh, tonight. Yeah, we're doing it tonight.
Tonight.
Great. Thank God.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So we don't sleep. No sleeping. They clink. They drink their waters.
Clink and drink.
In their steins.
Mm-hmm.
And
they pay.
And they paid.
But Tessa leaves a low tip.
Yeah.
She didn't like him very much.
Tessa.
They decide to split off. Mm-hmm. Wynn and Tessa, again, start to meander north toward the expedition site, or the expo depot.
Yeah.
Pim and Dirk sneak down into the mine to look for one of those big cases that get loaded out on, I would assume, a mine cart coming out of the mine and then back north.
And we will pick up on that operation next episode.
Another heist.
Another heist! It's all about heists in this game.
It's all about heists.
Yes.
A druidic warrior and a tinkerer. Artificer.
Ranger.
Really good at sneaking into places and stealing stuff.
They're great at it. They're fantastic at it. See you guys next time. Bye.